Today I'll just share with you guys why Singapore may not be the place you want to come. Firstly, things are expensive. Everything is expensive here. One meal at the hawker center costs you easily like $5 to $6. That's excluding the drink. If you choose a drink and the meal, so it's about $7, and multiply it by 3 meals a day, there's about $20 a day. And then your transport and MRT and bus one day can send you back easy from $5 to $8 a day, depending how many trips you take and what's the distance that you go. And do you know that the hotels in Singapore is one of the most expensive things in the world? One night of a double room for like 2 person can cost you easily up to 120 Singapore dollars. And if you stay for 3 nights to 1 week, that is quite a large amount of money. But if you go to other countries, Asian countries, the price is much less. For example, you go to Bangkok, one night the double room can cost you just about $30 to $40 Sing dollars. Next will be the cyclists who think that they own the route. It's very frustrating to walk on the pavement and then the cyclists just ting from behind. I know that they have to cycle, but it's just that this is very common in Singapore nowadays, and even with the PMA, it's even worse. Pedestrians get knocked down and even die. I'll just explain more about Singapore stuff. It's like, to be frank, there are not much tourist attractions, even though they are like Orchard Road, Chinatown, Bugis, Sentosa, Night Safari, Singapore Zoo, and much more. But then the thing is, like, once you've been to those places once, you'll be bored. The second time or third time you go, maybe you'll still be interested, but then the more times you go, the less interested you are. So if you come to a second time, third time, then actually not much of a point, unless you take photos and go back to just have memory's sake. I'm not sure, but I think that for tourists, you just come to 1 or 2 times to Singapore and that's it. There's not much thing to explore. Then for the street food of Singapore, it's also pretty much the same. You know, char kway teow, chicken rice, laksa, mee goreng, roti prata, and then the fish ball noodles. You have the lor mee. All this is like you try once or twice, it's good enough. But then some of the dishes are really like yummy. You may not try a few times the chicken rice, but then once again it depends on where do you buy from, who is the chef and hawker that cooking it, and this is the difference, because sometimes you just eat one time and that's it. Then do not want to try second time. Regarding the locals in Singapore, for guys first, it's like, because they have been to the army, and then they will speak in a more urban style. I'm not saying all, but most of them, so that most tourists will sometimes find this offensive. To be frank, I find that Singaporeans are mostly impatient. They want things to be done fast, and they get angry if things get done slowly or do not meet up to expectation. They get stressed easily and stuff. There's something straightforward tell you guys, like the locals do not really like the foreigners here. Be either be from China man or from other parts of the country. It's like they just want the authentic Singapore back before the foreigners came. Those people from China who come to Singapore, we know straight away whether they are local or they are from China or other country, because of the accent of the Chinese is totally different from the Chinese spoken by Singaporeans. We can know straight away from the first few sentences, first few words that they say. It's just the same that when the Angmoh, they will tell us, are we from which country? They will know our English. It's not from US or from UK. They will know straight away we are from the Asian countries. It's the same here. Regarding the Singapore women, it's like, firstly, there's not much of a dress sense. It depends on where they are going. Of course, in the neighborhood areas, they will dress down like t-shirt and jeans. Singapore women seldom wear dress and seldom wear the high heel shoes. They mostly wear the sneakers or sandals or slippers. That's in my opinion. And then because I've experienced quite a lot here in Singapore, if you see Singapore women wearing shorts, then there's a bonus, because most of them wear the long pants. And if you are fortunate, they may wear jeans. It's very, very seldom. Maybe 1 out of 10 will wear skirt, but the skirt will be a long skirt, not a short skirt. So you can say that Singapore is a traditional and conservative country compared to like Thailand or Taiwan or Philippines or Malaysia. Having said that, there are good things about Singapore. Firstly, the public transportation system is very efficient. The MRT, the bus, they like come quite frequently, very often and quickly. And then there's seldom delays. But for MRTs, recent years there are delays. I'm saying the bus is still okay, and then the price is still reasonable, from $1 or to $2. And about the language that Singaporeans use, they actually speak in a Singlish, which is really English plus a Singapore accent. And then I just think that it's not the standard English, so it's quite I would say a shame that the Singaporeans are not used to learning the language, the English language from a proper US style. I think this all boils down to the teaching style in the MOE schools. From like kindergarten, 5 years old, they start to learn all this Singlish, and then I just feel that it's difficult to correct it now, because they've been saying this the whole life, from like 4 years old, 5 years old until they are old. So only Singaporeans will understand the Singaporean Singlish. If the Angmo or foreigners speak to Singapore and then Singaporeans reply in English, and initially the foreigners may find it very strange, and why this sound like English but not kind of 100% English. They will just like wonder why is that. And then we add for Singlish, there are some of the accents like la, walao, alama, simi taiji. All this is like a question mark to the foreigners. They don't understand what we are saying. One bad habit of Singaporeans is that they like to complain about almost everything, be it the poor service, the price increase, and lots of stuff. Now, there's one good thing about Singapore is their passport. The passport is the strongest, most powerful in the whole world, that enables you to go to most of the countries without any visa. But there's still exemptions though. But I mean, it's like still stronger than other countries. And but the passport is only valid for 10 years currently. The government does give subsidies, like every year now. It's like the GST rebates and some kind of rebates. Recently, the Singaporeans got the CDC vouchers. Every one of them, they can use it for their food and supermarket. So if you are tourists wanting to visit Singapore or already in Singapore, I just recommend a 4-day, 3-night tour. And then you gauge whether you want to continue to visit Singapore for the next time.